Um, I'm assuming this is because warlocks have to get the Voidwalker, right? Is that what this is? They have to go to Elwyn Forest anyways. So they might as
Yeah,
well do some of
feels so
the
bad.
Elwyn stuff. Going to do Hogger. Um, am I correct? Didn't we have a human warlock? Is that an advantage here going into the tournament, just in terms of pure routing? I think
Probably.
Calyx was. I think Calyx was a human warlock. Let's see. Yeah, Calyx level 11. Same XP as Shoal, but slightly ahead on tempo, it looks like. Already heading out to get Serena's Choker, which is the final quest for the Warlock summon. After which, it looks like he's already been to Westfall, so he's ahead on flight paths a little bit. Um, so far, I
I
think
do really think it's worth it to get Voidwalker though,
I agree.
because the
Yeah,
thing is, there are people who speedrun 1 to 20 Warlock and they just use Imp the whole way. And I remember that meta when people were like, "Imagine using Voidwalker, you the
right.
Pega Boomer Dad Gamer." Like, but then there's levels to this shit, right? Like, and the idea that it's hardcore, that was like multi-life. Like, there's levels to this, right? And with hardcore, having the Void sack allows you to play more aggressive,
Mm,
right? Yeah, you have sacrifice, you get it at 16, I believe. It might be 14. I think it's 16 though. So like, when you have sack in your back pocket, you're able to just dot more aggressively, tap more,
yeah,
and just smooth out the RNG a lot more. The imp is like really, really weak, man. Like if you aggro something you're not expecting, it dies in 3 shots, then you have to hard summon another imp. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I think it's worth it because we're going to 20. If this was like a 4 hour leveling race and people are capping out around like 15, 16, there's a real case to be made where it's like, we just stick with the imp.
What
But
do you
going all the way to 20, go ahead. Sorry.
what do you think about like Voidwalker not having a mana component to it really because it's just taunting? Where like the imp runs out of mana. If you're chain pulling, your imp runs out of mana and just stands there doing nothing.
Yeah,
So
no, you're
that's
right.
that's another thing with imp that I don't really like personally with it. Um,
An early Voidwalker doesn't really run out of mana. Later on, it,
yeah,
it does have some mana issues if you just have Torment on auto cast. But early Voidwalker is pretty good on mana.
yeah. Calyx actually leveling staff skill. If you guys caught that, um, pretty cool. I guess it's the no. Oh, we pulled 4 mobs here.
Oh
He's
yeah,
in a fence kite. This it looks like it'll be fine. Getting the corruptions up. He's feared 1. Oh, look at this multi. It's beautiful. The
where
DPS.
Warlock really takes off. What level is the best level for Warlocks? Everyone knows it, right? If you played Warlock, there's one level. Do you know what I'm?
I don't. I don't know.
Isn't it when they get the sacrifice?
It's probably
It's
like Curse of Agony
14,
2,
man.
14.
14. Okay.
It's 14 because you pretty
Oh, it's
much complete
corruption.
instant corruption
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get rank 2 corruption. So you start to actually take off and like start going crazy when you get rank 2 corruption and the instant corruption. It makes you
yeah,
consider though, like there could be a consideration where you actually go with just 1 point corruption to bring it down to the global cooldown 1.6, and then you get suppression because if you are speed running and
yeah,
you have it in your route where you want to basically try to take on like really high level mobs and do some of the stuff that maybe other classes can't, that'd be one of the only things that's like unique to Warlock. And I guess Hunter would be in the same boat too, perhaps, is that like, fear is just so powerful, right? It just indefinitely sees these things. And if you can get 8 hit and be able to hit some red mobs with fear reliably, it's considered. I think you just go instant corruption, but it's possible.
yeah. No, that's a the the warlock plays. I love watching warlocks play because that he just pulled 4 mobs, multi-dotted, and then jumped around on a fence and they just rotted down. Like that
Mm,
gameplay was so clean from Calyx.
yeah.
It reminds me of like Savu's hardcore cup performances on Undead where they would pull like 5 different mobs and
Yep.
wand like tab target with Shadow Word Pains. I'm curious how the wand is coming along from Savu.
It's so much harder than it looks.
Yeah,
It really is.
Savu, still no wand, level 11 right now in out of Dunmorrow, but in Elwyn Forest, finishing up the cleanup in Eastvale logging camp. Um, and you can see actually has been leveling, enchanting, and tailoring just a little bit, probably on the tram. So maybe we're gonna look at like on the way to Darkshore, crafting once again, maybe
Look
completing
at his
the
rotation, man. His rotation is Mind Blast and then run until the next Mind Blast is up and then Smite. Like he's
yep,
not even using Shadow Word Pain. Like is rank 1 Shadow Word Pain just trash? I feel like I heard that from somebody that you just like never use rank 1 Pain.
yeah,
But I don't
it's
know. Like that's what he's doing right now. He's just Mind Blast, run, 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 Mind Blast.
yeah, you're playing like a mage without Fire Blast in that
Yeah.
regard.
You have any thoughts on that, Parla? Is it rank 2?